Here on the channel, you've seen a bunch of 22 ARC content. It's all been bolt action. In this video, we're going to take a look at the rifle platform that 22 ARC was designed for. We're talking about the AR15. We're going to put together a complete ODIN Works AR15 setup with suppressor and see what we can do with 22 ARC in the AR platform. Hey guys, Gavin Gu here from UltimateReloader.com. We recently partnered with ODIN Works, a world-class manufacturer of AR-15 components, AR-15 rifles, and related accessories. And as a part of that partnership, we got this awesome selection of gear from which we're going to put together a 22 ARC AR-15 and do some fun shooting. Let me go over what we've got here. So we've got the OTR-15 complete lower. I'm just going to read some of the features here. Ambi sling QD plate extended mag release. It's got ambidextrous bolt release, which is great. We can activate that from both sides. Beveled magwell, integral trigger guard. It's got the B5 P grip and ambi modular safety. This should be a great lower to base this build on. And then we've got a complete billet upper receiver, and that includes, read some of the specs on that here. We've got the billet upper, 17.5 inch M-LOK forend R2. We've got 22 ARC chambering, 21 inch barrel, 1 7.5 twist, and an adjustable gas block. That should work really well. Some of the other goodies that we've got here, we've got the Badlands 762 suppressor that uses the OSM F.A.T mount. We've got that in both the half 28 and the 5/8 24. I've got a 3-pack of Trax Arca rails. Love that. We're going to definitely use one on this. And then I'm not sure if we're going to need this or not, but we've got the AR-15 light adjustable buffer. That's going to be fun to play with. Maybe even look at some data on our recoil rig at some point. Okay, so I'm going to get this stuff out of the box. We'll get this rifle started. That is very nice. Well, here's everything out of the packaging. We've got the components for the lower here. We're going to use this adjustable buffer. We've got the complete upper receiver. We've got the Arca rail, which we're going to attach to the front underside of the handguard. We've got the suppressor mount and flash hider and the Badlands suppressor with cover. I like that. So the next step is going to be to start putting this together. Okay guys, mounted my vise. I found an Athlon optic and cantilever mount that should be ready to roll. That's going to save us some time. Before we get to putting the different components together, assembling the rest of the lower components and then mating the lower to the upper, I wanted to talk about this adjustable buffer light. So ODIN has a heavy and a light version. We've got the light version here. These are adjustable in that you can fill it with 3 different slugs. We've got aluminum, stainless steel, and we've got 1 tungsten. We've got these pads that go between the two. And this is going to give us a bunch of different combinations for different weights. We've also got an adjustable gas block here. And this is really simple. I'm just going to start with the stainless since that's kind of the middle option, as it were. We're going to put in one of the slugs with one of the rubber pads on it there. Put in a second with the rubber pad on it. Put the third in, and then we can start to screw the plug in. The way this works is we're going to have the plug seat against those weights. I'm going to give it just a little bit of a crank down for compression. And then we've got this set screw on the side that's going to keep the main plug from backing out. That means we can move on to the lower assembly. Okay, so I've got my lower receiver vise block in the vise. I'm going to go ahead and just put this in place. Now it's time to put the rear part of the buttstock in place. And what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to just favor kind of long length of pole here. We've got a couple pinch clamps, which are very effective mechanical clamps for sure. Wow, it doesn't take but just hand tight essentially to really lock that guy down. That's pretty amazing. Okay, back that off just a little bit so that I can make sure that we are perfectly vertical. Okay. We will give that a try, and we can very easily fine tune that accordingly. Okay, and then we can just go ahead and install the buffer. Okay, lowers together. Before we put the upper and the lower together, let's install our M-LOK Arca rail. Nice and gentle on this. Don't need to overdo that. Make sure that things are aligned here. Nice. That goes together smooth. All right, time to put the upper and the lower together. Nice. Okay, let's get the scope installed. I'm gonna set this in place, kind of see what I think for eye relief. Make sure that we're on max power. Okay. Looks like we need to be further forward. Not a surprise. With this cantilever mount, we got good options with an AR. Yeah, I like that. So we're going to take our Wheeler fat sticks. We've got the 65 inch-pound torque limiter on here. Go ahead and torque that down. Well, that didn't take long. Scope's on. Okay, let's get this mount on and the suppressor mounted as well. I'm going to remove the thread protector. So this is half 28. I really like this TW25B grease for breech threads on a bolt gun, for any kind of muzzle threads. When I take apart suppressors, I use this stuff. It's really good. And we're going to need a 3/4 inch wrench, which I've got right here. Okay. This does not take much here. Call that good right there. Now our suppressor should screw right on. How cool is that? All right, let's see how the complete package is gonna look here. Got a nice bipod here that we're gonna use for our sight in. Go ahead and try a mag. This is a 6.5 Grendel mag, if I remember correctly. And so we're gonna see how that works. So far, so good. Wow. I'm liking that. Well, that was fun. I really enjoy shooting this AR. The trigger was really crisp. Things stayed planted. Wow, that's real nice. And it just absolutely shot great. I have 15 rounds through this AR right now, 3 different types of ammo. We started with the 62 ELD-VT factory ammunition. 5 shots went into .874. Those were the first 5 shots out of the gun. Average velocity was 3191.1 with an SD of 21.6 and an ES of 59.7. Next up was the 75 ELD-M black ammo from Hornady. And I actually pulled one of these shots. So I had 5 shots go into 1.641 with my windage error that I believe I induced, because the next 4 shots went into .730 inches. And we had an average velocity of 2988.7, an SD of 10.5, and an extreme spread of 29.0. I think with some additional shooting and taking out that flyer, this would be an extremely viable load for this gun. Finally, we had the 88 ELD-M. 5 shots went into .741 inches, which is .71 MOA. Outstanding, especially for literally shots 11 through 15 through the gun. I have not been shooting ARs off the bench much. Usually it takes me a little bit more adjustment to get back into the game. I was really happy with these results. Sub 3/4 MOA. The 88 ELD-M ammo had an average velocity of 2797.4, an SD of 10.2, and an extreme spread of 27.2. Interestingly, the 75 ELD-M and the 88 ELD-M performed very similar. Obviously, the velocity was higher on the 75 grain ammunition, but the SD and the ES for both were just about the same, and I'm happy to say this rifle has been 100% functioning so far. The only thing I noticed was some soot on my ammo in the magazine, and that probably means I'm a little overgassed with this suppressor configuration, so it's good I have that adjustable gas block. I can play with that a little bit to find the happy medium. Okay, and a brief recap on the specs and features for the upper and the lower. So the upper is machined from a billet of 7075 aluminum, very fine detail, really nice surface finish and quality, no rough edges, really well put together. It's got a 21-inch 22 arc DMR barrel with a rifle plus 2-inch gas system for optimized velocity. Again, 100% functioning, really like the way this rifle shoots. The adjustable gas block, as I mentioned, I've got perhaps a bit of overgassing going on. I'm gonna play with the clicks on that a little bit to see if I can optimize that just a touch. The extended charging handle and 17.5-inch M-LOK R2 forend. And it's got integral QD as well, which is another nice feature. Okay, for the lower, also machined from a billet of 7075 aluminum. It features a flared magwell, ambi bolt release, AMS ambi safety that is modular and configurable, XMR extended mag release, Zulu 2.0 buttstock with QD, which is just kind of my preferred sling system of choice, you know, if I'm going to throw the rifle over the shoulder, that kind of thing. And then the ballistic engineering accurized trigger shot really, really well. This is adjustable from 2.5 pounds to 5 pounds, and I always knew when the hammer was going to drop. Okay, moving on to the Badlands 7.62 QD suppressor. This is a 30 cal can, which for rifles is about the most flexible thing that you're going to find. Yes, we're shooting a 22 caliber through a 30 cal can. I do it absolutely all the time. We might get a little bit better sound level reduction with a 22 cal can, but in my humble opinion, it's not quite worth the trade-offs of having to have 22 cal specific cans. It's 8.25 inches long, 1.5 inches in diameter, 19 ounces weight, and is made from titanium and 17.4 stainless steel. It features OSM, which is ODIN Works suppressor mount. This is a really cool system. With a 3/4 inch wrench, you can install this mount. It doubles as a flash hider. You don't have to worry about timing, no worrying about shims, which is exactly what I'm after when I go to mount a brake or a suppressor. And I have both of the mounts, one for 5/8 24, which is what you'd typically use with a 30 cal rifle and a 30 cal can. This is the half 28 version, which is typical for a 22 caliber barrel, which obviously the 22 arc is. This is semi-auto rated and comes with a cobalt Cerakote finish. I will note that the suppressor does come with the mount, and The MSRP is $649, which is pretty amazing for what you're getting. So at the end of the day, I'm really impressed with this rifle. Here's what really amazed me. I was expecting, you know, about 100, 150 feet per second loss due to just the AR-15 gas system. And then this is also a shorter barrel. If memory serves me correctly, we had a 24-inch barrel on the 22 ARC bolt gun. Here's the difference in velocity. The bolt gun had 22.3 feet per second averages for the 88 ELD-M ammo. The AR here had 2797.4. That's only a difference of about 25 feet per second. Not much to give up to go to an AR and to go to a shorter, more compact form factor. This rifle really amazed me. Definitely sub-MOA. If you take out the one flyer that I had, which I'm pretty sure was my fault, you know, you're talking 0.874, 0.730, 0.741, and you know, obviously with a little bit of load development, we could probably get well better than that, maybe hitting half MOA, which honestly, for actual real results, is difficult to achieve in any AR. But here's what I've found with 22 ARC. 22 ARC is an amazing optimization of shootability and long-range ballistics, plus it's a great varminting round. So when we're shooting long range and we've been using the bolt gun, just a great training platform for myself or for bringing other shooters up to speed. Very easy to spot trace, to spot your hits and misses, because the rifle just doesn't move. And in the AR platform, we get quite a bit better ballistic performance compared to a 223, 556 type configuration, and we're not getting hammered with recoil. I did notice that the suppressor heats up fairly quickly, which, you know, when you go to a turbocharged 22 caliber is absolutely not surprising. It's just something to be aware of if you are in the market for a 22 ARC rifle. And expect to see more of this Badlands suppressor and similar equipment from ODIN, and more of this 22 ARC rifle. I'm hoping to do an in-depth overview of 22 ARC all up, and having this rifle in the portfolio helps balance out that portfolio of different rifle experiences with both the bolt gun and the AR. Here's what I'd like to know is, are you rocking an ODIN Works AR15? If so, how are you liking it? What are you shooting through it, and what are you using it for? Second, are you rocking a 22 ARC? I'm a fan. Are you a fan? Tell me if you're shooting it in a bolt gun or an AR and what you're using it for. Let's start that discussion in the comments section. Thank you for watching. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. If you're interested in custom rifles like what we build here on the channel, or gunsmithing services, you're going to want to go to rifles.ultimatereloader.com and get on the wait list. If you want to learn lucrative gunsmithing like what I show here on the channel, including building custom rifles and Cerakote plus a whole bunch more, you're going to want to check out the Colorado School of Trades, schooloftrades.edu. Thanks again for watching.